Good morning and welcome back to the farm. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the second episode of the first generation farm series. Today we are going to be finishing off alfalfa, or well, really starting it. We did one pass yesterday, but we're gonna head on down to the neighbor's first thing. He says he has a tractor that he's looking to sell. We're not really in need of it right this moment, but he said he's willing to give us a really good deal on it if we want to take it. But listen to this truck start, by the way. Oh, that sounds so good. Anyways, what we know about the tractor is it is a 8850 John Deere articulating tractor with just over 4,000 hours on it. He said he'd cut me a deal and give it to me for 25,000, I think he said. It's a relatively older tractor. It's got about 370 horsepower. It's not really something that we need right this moment. I mean, with us just doing alfalfa hay, it's not that huge of a necessity. However, considering he has it right now and he's got such a good deal on it for us, I can't really pass this up. So let's get on down the road. We're gonna go take a look at it. He said it's in okay shape. It's got some paint issues, but it runs fine. He says I could drive it home if I wanted to and use it today if I wanted to. Not that we have anything to use it for, but we're gonna head on down there and take a look at it. I think this is the place right here. All right, let's see if we can't spot this tractor that he's talking about. Oh my God, he has quite the setup. Wow. Looks like he might have horses off in the distance. Said it was over here to the right. Oh, there it is. 8850 John Deere. That looks pretty good from this angle. Go take a look at it. Let's see if there's any issues. I can see what he's talking about when he says the paint is a bit of an issue. That's not a big deal. We can always repaint it down the line if we want to. It's got a few dings and stuff. Let's go ahead and jump in and see if she'll start. All in all, not too bad. I think we're gonna buy it. I'm gonna go over there and see if I can't talk him down and see if he has anything else that he wants to sell. I guess this is an older tractor that he's had for a while now and that he's looking to get rid of. And no, we don't really need it per se because we don't have anything to really use this for. I mean, if we can get a good deal on it, I can't say no, especially with 4,000 hours on it. Man, that's, I mean, it's old, but it'll do for sure. I think it'll be our first big tractor, our first big purchase for the farm. Well, it's ours. 20 grand. I didn't have the cash on me, so I'm gonna run home. I've got the cash in the safe at home, and then I'm gonna come back and give him his 20 grand. I left my truck down there at his farm. But not a bad deal. 20 grand. We've got ourselves our first big boy purchase on the farm. She needs a little bit of work. Might have the dealership take a look at it and see if there's anything else that needs to be done. It moves at about 22 miles an hour, so kind of to be expected, but I mean, the inside's clean. The outside, aside from minor paint issues, is fine. It starts right up. There's no rust. I mean, this is, oh, we're missing a mirror. That's okay. But there's the farm now. We're gonna get back on the farm, park this thing in the barn for now, go grab the money and head back down to his farm. Well, there she is. She's in the barn. She is a beauty. I did get an opportunity when I was talking to him. He did say that he has more stuff that he's eventually going to be selling. My idea is I'd like to be a full-blown ag operation by next year. So I want to be planting by the beginning of next year, if at all possible. If that's going to happen, we've got a lot of work to do. Well, we're almost back to the farm now. This truck has some pretty terrible vibrations doing this speed on this dirt road. But I talked to the farmer a little bit more. We gave him 20 grand for the tractor, the 8850. Pretty satisfied with that. He stated that he's got a combine that he's looking to sell. He didn't really tell me much more than that. So we know that he's got a combine and that he might have a planter, and he said he might have some other stuff. He's thinking about getting out of farming and retiring. So that, I guess, in a weird way works out for us. Says he just wants to go to full-time horse ranching. And I don't blame him. I mean, farming's a lot of work, but so is horse ranching. Here we go, getting ready to jump back in the 1086. Try to finish up this field of alfalfa. Finally warmed up enough. Sun is finally fully out. Everything seems dry. Let's go ahead and jump in and make sure she starts. First try. Even though this tractor hasn't really been ran in a while, man, she works real good. Okay, so let's go ahead and fire this girl up. The 1590 Haybine, and then I think we're cooking, right? We missing anything? No, she's doing her job. Let's go. All right, well, we're off to the races for today. Try not to miss anything here. Still trying to get used to this. It's a little bit different. That's the one thing that Grandpa didn't do. He didn't really do anything hay related. It was pretty much just corn and beans. So it's kind of a new adventure for us. But you know what? I kind of like this. In a way, it's stressful, but also semi-relaxing, I guess. I almost forgot. I talked to the John Deere dealership about the 4020, and they said it's going to need about $5 grand worth of work, which is fine. I guess that it's worth it. I'm actually really excited to potentially get that tractor working on the farm, because I mean, it can do stuff like this. I probably don't want to use it for baling. I mean, it would probably do just fine, but this, the windrower, you name it, like I think it's going to be a very useful piece on the farm, having that around here. And then maybe at some point in time when we actually get a little bit of help, I've got a cousin who said he wants to come help out one of these days, on the occasion anyways. That would be a perfect tractor for them to run, because obviously now that we've got that 8850, that's not going to be doing work like this. That's going to be like our main tillage tractor, more than likely, once we're fully into this. Which, speaking of tillage, that field back, well, over there, kind of where I'm looking, you can see, there isn't anything in that field. We own that field, so I don't see why there's no reason that we couldn't till that land up and plant something there, whether it's more alfalfa, whether it's some sort of crop. Not sure. And I don't know if we want to go corn or beans. Obviously, if we're going to do that, we've got a lot of equipment that we're missing. But it's a thought. We can definitely look into doing that, at least until we decide we want to build barns and stuff there. And we don't even really need to build anything there. I mean, we've got so much space and opportunity out here. We're a little over halfway done with this alfalfa field. I just got off the phone with the neighbor again and asked him if he had a plow that we could borrow, and he said he did. So we're going to be able to borrow his 2410 to try to get that other field plowed. I'd like to be able to plant something over there, even if it isn't this year. At least we're doing the bulk of the field work now, because I have a feeling it's going to probably turn up a bunch of stones, would be my assumption. So we're probably going to need to buy a stone picker and all that. I'm not looking to buy a plow just yet. I don't see the necessity in it, considering this field won't have to be plowed for a while. And then that field over there, obviously we're just going to plow it once, and we're not even going to do anything with it this year. So I'm not really sure what our future plan is as far as a plow goes, but he is going to let us borrow one, which is going to be very beneficial to try to get that field opened up and ready for next year. The dealership did call and let us know that the 4020 should be ready for pickup probably tomorrow at some point in time, which is nice to get it back on the farm. And I was thinking, I'm not so sure that we're going to have to do any sort of windrowing on this field. This has been pretty easy. I really like this 1590. I have a feeling this is going to be around for a while for us. Should only be a few more passes before we're able to call it a day on this field, which is very exciting. Getting our first field done. We'll get it probably baled in a day or two. I think what we're going to do with the rest of our day is we're going to grab the 8850, the new 8850, new to us that is, and we're going to head on down to the neighbors and pick up the 2410 and get it down to the farm and get it ready for probably tomorrow. That'll probably be the plan for tomorrow is we'll work on that field, getting that plowed up, or at least most of it. And then we'll have to probably source a rock picker. And then by then, we're probably good to start baling this hay. I don't think that we're going to need to rake it. I don't really see it being a necessity, like I said earlier, but we'll see. It just kind of depends on, you know, what we're looking like. But so far, from what I've seen, we're doing okay. Now that I'm thinking about it, we might actually grab the rake. Just because these rows are so close together, it'll make our lives so much easier having 2 rows converted into 1. Something else that I didn't think of is we're also going to need somewhere to put the bales, which is probably in that little shed off to the right over there. That probably isn't going to be a huge issue, but it's transporting them. I don't have anything with a loader on it, let alone anything with a bale spike on it, let alone even a wagon aside from our one trailer that is just designated for baling, or for bales to be able to transport them. So I guess that's something that we're gonna have to think about. Probably need to look at getting some sort of loader attachment maybe for the 4020, or maybe even for this. I think this 1086, you can throw one on there, so maybe just because of the size of this tractor, we wouldn't overwork it by putting a loader arm on it. I guess it's just kind of something that we're gonna have to do our research on and see if it makes sense or not. But either way, we know that we're gonna need one and that it's gonna be a necessity, especially with baling alfalfa. And that's going to be the last little bit of alfalfa, probably for the year. I was thinking, what do we think about turning this potentially into a cornfield at some point, or maybe even a bean field when we go full ag? Do we want to keep this field as alfalfa? A lot of questions for future Sandman, that's for sure. But let's go ahead and hop off here. We're going to jump in the 8850 and head on down the road and go pick up the 2410 now that we're done with cutting alfalfa. Well, we're off to the neighbor's house. We got the 8850 running and going. You know, it's kind of a nice thing that we did buy this. It might feel somewhat premature considering we don't really have a whole lot of use for it, but I can promise you we're gonna have a lot of use for it coming up here in a little while. Maybe not this year, hopefully the beginning of next year. I don't know, I kind of kick back and I look at the land and I go, man, there is so much potential here. I see spots where we can have grain bins and more buildings, cold storage, a shop, you name it. I mean, there's just so much room on that property and so much potential to build a really multi-generational farm for the future. We're pulling up back onto his property now. Man, seeing those grain bins from that distance is remarkable. I can't wait for the day when we have something like that, if we ever have something like that. And it's kind of crazy to think that he's getting out of this and he's not going to be doing ag for much longer. There is the 2410. There we go, 2410 hooked up, ready to go. We are rocking and rolling. That is a one hell of a sight. I don't know, does that plow kind of feel like maybe it's a little too big for this tractor? We'll see. It's a good way to test out the 8850. She's going to be our workhorse tomorrow morning, that's for sure. Speaking of horses, this is what our neighbor's going to get into. Man, look at all this that he has. Literally, I mean, holy crap, dude. These bins are just gigantic. Everything. Doesn't look like he has... Oh, he does have cattle. And sheep. And horses. This dude's literally got everything. This is one hell of a ranch. You know, one thing I haven't seen, though, aside from the little bit that he keeps giving us, is his equipment. He must keep it under wraps so that way people can't see what he's got. That is quite the intimidating sight coming down the road. The 8850 and the 2410. He did tell us that he would be willing to eventually sell us the 2410. I don't know. Seems like it's gonna be a while before we need something this big. I mean, you saw just how big his farm is and how much land he has. I honestly don't even know exactly how much land he has. I just know it's like north of 10,000 acres. So he's got a lot. He's trying to sell off a lot of it. I've got a feeling that we're probably going to be buying a decent portion of it for ourselves. Like, he literally owns this field, that field. He owns it all, it seems like. Aside from this field, this is our one and only field. There are many like it, but this one's mine. Go ahead and park this right here for the night. I think we'll be done for this evening. She's got a lot of work to do. We're talking about doing all this out here. It'll be a pretty sizable field. I don't think it'll be as big as the one we have over here, but we just got to figure out what we're going to put in this field. Nothing this year. It's going to need a lot of field work, a lot of prep before it's ready to actually be planted in, which ideally will be next year. Sun's starting to set. Man, that's a really good shot. Look at that. That's a cool shot. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I'm loving the farming life. Law enforcement was awesome and fun. But there's just something about this, you know? I'm going to go back to my little shack of a house and grab a beer and kick back and just kind of relax for the rest of the night before we come out and bust more butt tomorrow. I think the International is probably good. Sitting out here for the night. She's pretty dirty. Probably need to look at investing in a power washer or pressure washer at some point in time. But she did a really good job. This 1590 might just be my favorite implement on the farm. It might be. It's not a very long list to choose from, but it might be. I don't know. I guess we'll see. All right, well, I think that's going to be it, guys. Appreciate you sticking around. Hopefully you enjoyed working on the farm today. Other than that, man, we'll see you in the next episode where we're probably going to be doing some plowing and some baling. So, all right, we'll be seeing you.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate